Over the past couple months, you guys have been leaving lots of questions in the comments, so I wanted to take this opportunity to answer some of those specific questions and talk about some of the more common questions and comments that I get on my videos. I've been using this rearview mirror lately, and some of you wanted to know more about it. First off, it's just a fairly inexpensive bike mirror on Amazon by a company called Miachow. It's $23, and I think it's a great mirror overall. You also had questions about visibility when using the mirror. There's a few different ways you can go when it comes to rearview mirrors on scooters, and they all give different viewing angles, so I'll talk about a few of them real quick. First, you have small mirrors that clip to the side of your helmet and allow you to see behind you with a quick glance. These are super convenient, but I can't get over how weird they look. The second kind is a mirror that attaches on the very end of your handlebars in place of your bar end. The location of the mirror gives you a better viewing angle, but the issue is that the handlebar grips I use cover the end of the bar instead of being a typical two-piece grip with a bar end. So that leaves the most common type of mirror, which is the type that attaches to the handlebars via a standard clamp. This is the only type that I would really want to use, and it does a great job of allowing me to check behind me without turning my head. My arm can obstruct the view a little bit sometimes, but not in a way that makes it impossible to see. I highly suggest getting a mirror if you don't have one already. This is a really great question that I didn't talk about specifically in my common mistakes video. The biggest thing you want to avoid is going over the handlebars, so don't ever brake using only the front brake. You can use just the back brake for small speed adjustments, but when braking from any significant speed to a stop, you should almost always use both brakes. It allows you to brake faster and should be a habit you develop. When using both brakes, the general rule you want to follow is to not apply the front brake more than the rear brake. Slowing down the front of the scooter faster than the back of the scooter will throw you forward quickly on the scooter and cause you to possibly go over the bars. The answer to this question ultimately comes down to personal preference and what you feel most comfortable with, but I'll give you my personal reasoning behind my choice. I don't ever turn kick to start on and probably never will for a couple reasons. First, my Hover One Alpha has kick to start, and there have been a few times where I didn't kick it enough to bring it up to speed. I would get on it expecting it to accelerate, and then it would slow down when I was expecting it to speed up. This would cause me to hit my chest or my stomach against the handlebars. It rarely happened, but it was just annoying enough for me to swear off wanting a scooter that required kick to start. I also like being able to start the scooter moving with one foot on it and then pull the other foot up without having to push off the ground. It can be inconvenient to have to do a real push on a scooter that is further off the ground. I would suggest trying both modes out because kick to start has some advantages, like preventing accidental throttle activation, or if you're pushing off and getting situated on the scooter for a second before accelerating, you don't want to accidentally pull the throttle too soon. Hopefully this gives a little bit of insight. Here's how I lock up my Mantis on a bike rack. The Mantis has a super convenient metal fork by the stem that you can feed the chain lock through. Not all scooters will have something like this, so I suggest getting a chain lock like this one that you can wrap around the bracket that connects the stem to the deck. A lot of scooters will have a more convenient place to lock, so just be sure not to lock up the scooter in a way where removing the wheel or a single bolt will allow it to be stolen easily. In my scooter accessories video, I show all the things I put in my backpack, and it's quite a few things. And yes, it would be quite heavy if I carried those things around, but I have a confession to make. While all the things I mentioned in the video are must-haves for your scooter, I definitely don't feel that they all need to be carried around all the time. So my backpack is typically quite lighter than what it might appear. Here's what I carry in my backpacks. If you watched the Scooter Tips and Tricks video, then you know I have two different backpacks. One carries short trip stuff, and the other is for long rides. The small backpack has just my bike lock, a multi-tool, and my goggles if I'm not using them, which is rare. Here's what I put in my other backpack. When I put the small backpack in the other, which I do for long rides, the majority of the weight is the chain. The chain weighs 3.5 pounds or about 1.6 kilos, and the other things I carry are an additional couple of pounds or maybe half a kilo at most. Set up your backpack how you like it, but be sure to have your lock if you're going to need it, and have at least a multi-tool because it's too useful not to keep on you at all times while riding. I record all my ride footage with the GoPro Hero 8 Black. I'm no expert when it comes to videography, but I will show the settings I use for normal day rides and how those settings change for night rides. Here are my standard day ride settings. First, I record all my videos in 4K 30 FPS. I really like high quality ride video, and I hate the video blurring and tearing that appears often when you record at lower resolutions. I always record in Super View, which is the widest possible angle on the GoPro. I like being able to show you guys the road, the surrounding scenery, and my handlebars all in one shot. The extra wide angle also makes it appear like I'm going faster than I really am, which makes for more interesting ride footage. Hypersmooth is always on and is digital video stabilization that makes the ride footage look super buttery. It makes bumps look non-existent and help you, the viewer, to not get motion sickness while watching. Low light mode is off during the day for obvious reasons. I never turn on zoom because that defeats the purpose of using Super View. Clips is for shooting social media posts, which I usually don't do yet. Bitrate I always keep high for higher quality video. I keep the shutter at auto, the EV compensation at 0, and the white balance on auto. And during the day I set the ISO minimum at 100 and the maximum at 800 to avoid washing out the picture in lots of light. Low sharpness makes the picture easy on the eyes. I keep the color at the standard GoPro color because I like how vibrant it looks. RAW or RAW audio is off because I don't need uncompressed audio for the GoPro. Wind just helps mitigate some of the wind noise, so I have that on all the time, and I don't have a microphone attached. The only settings I change for my night rides is I bump the FPS down to 24, I set the shutter to 1/48th of a second, and I up the max ISO to 1600 to capture more light. And that's it. Like I said, I'm not a videographer. Lots of the settings I use simply because someone smarter than me told me to set them that way. Thanks for asking questions down in the comments of the videos. I hope you enjoyed this video because I'm planning on doing a video like this every so often to answer your questions. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more content and keep asking those questions down in the comments.